Hey, what's up? I'm right here for the culture, right here at Excitement Radio. Nevertheless, this is LHAYES. I need y'all to allude into the experience. Right now, I'm actually revealing my story, what's happening, how my grandmother raised me, and honoring her and dropping this music video called Grandma's Day. So, nevertheless, I hope y'all enjoy it. It's counting down right now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And our special guest in the building, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let him, we said it a couple times, but I'm gonna let him introduce himself, you know what I mean? Go ahead,
Well, let
talk
me
to
start by introducing myself.
Yeah.
I go by the name of LHAYES, and I need y'all to get into the experience. There you go.
Yeah. Real smooth, you know what I mean? Smooth.
LHAYES is pretty much my alter ego. Using all of my super strength and my power to really help heal the world through my music and through my stories and things that I battle and overcome. I'm everywhere throughout the whole southern region. The name of my company is called LDP Visions. I'm building I build an empire of consultants. What I do is pretty much go in the community, find grassroots organizations, see what their needs, and give them the tools that they need. That's me introducing my other company called The Talk Factor, Sharing Your Experience magazine TV show. The Talk Factor magazine TV show, that's pretty much a project I've been working on all my life. But it's really to really help those grassroots organizations that not getting the funding from the federal healthcare centers. And pretty much my thing in my company, what we're doing is teaching them the tools, how to actually do outreaches, how to actually prepare for vendors to actually support you in that matter and actually reach out for sponsorships. So that's what I do. And then I give them all of the pictures for free. And all I ask them to do is come to our annual Talk Factor show.
Okay. That's fire. That's fire. And so can you talk about some of the organizations that you've been working with or that's working with you per se?
Sure. So a lot of the organizations, I worked with pretty much the whole health department in the whole southern region. I originally started, I can start from the basis when I started and where I am at now. I started at Empower You. I was at an organization called Empowerment Project. I was the project coordinator there at a gay and bisexual youth center. That doors open 7 days a week in giving kids and adults and teens lessons and how to engage in relationships and how to make healthy choices.
Oh wow!
So that I've been doing that and leading that, and the hardest area to reach is Liberty City. Yeah. So from there, I was doing that at the age of since I was 15, 16 years old. I've been doing that for 10 years, and then from there I went to AIDS Healthcare Foundation. AIDS Care Foundation is a global company that advocate for HIV and advocacy. And helping people get their medications and getting the support that they need. So with them, I was an HIV testing counselor. I was an HIV testing counselor, pretty much guiding individuals, giving them their status, letting them know it's going to be okay after they get the diagnosis.
Right.
Additional to that, not only just diagnosis, people don't even come in to get tested. They used to just come in just wanted to be heard. Mm-hmm. They just wanted somebody to listen. Mm-hmm. So that was my part, and that's what got me more into my practice in clinical social work, and eventually owning my own practice, a mental health practice.
Man, that's real.
Where is the facility at?
So a lot of these facilities, so you have AIDS Healthcare Foundation. This is based out in Fort Lauderdale. And with AIDS Healthcare Foundation, they have multiple affinity groups. Like one of the affinity groups, I'm actually one of the Impulse members actually on the group. So at Impulse, that's another group that helps with the LGBT community and advocate against just HIV education and awareness to the community and uplifting communities. Mm-hmm. And then they have other affinity groups called Black and Spark. In addition to that, I work with another dear to my heart, working with them on several different projects and supporting another organization called the McKinsey Project. McKinsey Project is another entity that focuses on trans and LGBT community in all walks of life, a safe haven for people that can come and be themselves and educate them.
Which one? What's that called?
It's called the McKinsey Project.
The McKinsey Project. Okay.
It has to do a lot with with mental health and stuff like that, right? Like and how people cope and everything like that. Like, what's the struggles that you see the most when you're dealing with people?
Just being in this field and the HIV field and being an advocate in the community for the past 17 years, what I notice is a lot of people are afraid to admit that they have issues. A lot of the issues that I hear, and we just listen to just people in general, it's a lot of childhood trauma that I hear. That's what got me into developing a whole seminar retreat that I've been doing for the past 9 years. It's called Baggage Claim. Understanding baggage, identifying baggage, building a healthy relationship. And what kind of trauma do you suffer from? Is it abandonment issues, loneliness, fear? And understanding that trauma, building a healthy you. So that's what I do in my workshop. It's called Baggage Claim, Flight 825.
So over here, hearing, obviously, like, I know this is just like a little bit of, a lot bit of what you do. But, take us back a little bit, because I know you said you've been doing this for a long time, since 15, 16, you know what I mean? So for you to be in it that young, like, what, take us back a little bit before that. Like, what led you to that path? What led you to, you know what I'm saying, taking such a leadership role, you feel me, in your community? Well, give us a little bit of the story.
That's strong.
So,
Lorenzo,
growing up,
yeah,
it all started, well, first of all, it all started, the music came from the family. The family.
Where you from originally?
I'm originally from Overtown, but I was raised in Miami Gardens.
Okay.
And from there, I pretty much went to all my schooling in Ives Dairy Road at Highland Oaks Elementary.
Okay, Highland Oaks.
And Highland Oaks Middle and Microcrop Senior High.
All right, shout out. Shout out your career, you know what I mean?
So yeah, so I go back to the beginning. It started with my mother. My mother is a jazz singer. She used to perform on the road. She used to perform at a known bar that's like in the city in Liberty City. It's Overtown. It used to call LHAYES. My mom used to perform. She was like the next Anita Baker. After, of course, my mom lost her sister in the battle of the HIV and what she was dealing with. It kind of like took on a spiral and some of the addictions that she had to get help. From there, my grandmother came in and rescued me and my brothers. I'm the oldest of my 4 brothers. She came and pretty much my grandmother didn't know how to read or write. So what she pretty much said, she was friends with the principal at Highland Oaks, and she was like, my grandkids gotta have the best education, and that's how we was able to go to that school. My grandmother and the principal was best friends. Now they call that school Virginia A. Boone Highland Oaks Elementary School. From there, my grandmother was a custodian. My grandmother was a head lead custodian at that school and led it for like over 30 years, 40, 50 years. Where after we got out of class, we would have to meet my grandmother in a back room till she finished her working. Right. One day I was in the music room and I was just banging on instruments, even though I sing at the school, I sing at home and doing like family gatherings. Nevertheless, the music teacher came out, yelled and screamed at me. Her name is Miss Tillman. She the one saw the voice. She the one heard me at Highland Oaks Elementary School. I'm trying to find her to this day.
And that's interesting, man, because then I ask a lot of, our guests, that's the artists, when they come on the show, like, how they got their start, or what was it that clicked, or, musically, like how they got into it. And a lot of stories started like that, you know what I'm saying? Mine including, like, it was something either in school, a talent show, in church, you know what I'm saying? And it, usually was, someone else that saw something in them and was just like, yo, like, you need to do that, like, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of times it was us just like misbehaving or just cutting up, doing something, you know what I mean? And so just to hear that, it's a beautiful thing on, like, how we fall in love with it, at an early age, and it takes someone hearing something in you that young and that early and being like, hey, that kid got something.
Can you bring us back in that time and elaborate on that, on how it was for you to go there every day, and what made it become you, and the work ethic that made you come up with all the songs?
Well, my grandma raised me, so we was all living together. We all was in one household. Even my first cousins, my mom's sisters, nieces and nephews, we all lived together. In that household, all the guys would be outside picking and doing the grass, and all the kids would be out there playing. We couldn't do anything. We had to clean everything, like it was like little slaves outside, and we would be crying in the sun.
Right.
And I used to hate it. And then we would come in and wash up. All the girls would be in the house cooking, folding,
right.
all that stuff.
Man, the good old
So,
days. It sounds crazy, but that's how they raised us back then. We'd be outside, the boys outside, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You wasn't just inside, just fucking in front of the TV or just playing, you know what I mean?
Oh, there was no TV.
There was no TV.
Yeah. So even to this day, like people like Lorenzo, you're like a little blonde headed because you don't know any people's names and things, and I'm around all kinds of A-list celebrity people. I said, no, I was in the room, like in a box, like I don't know anybody. Like my knowledge of them is dumbfounded. They're just human beings and people.
Yeah, that's it.
I was like, okay.
Ain't no different from me and you.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, my grandmother raised us old school, as you can see.
Yeah.
She told me, you want to give, in order to receive, you must give. And we was more fortunate to be middle class, and so all I was doing just giving. And that's what comes to my outreach and community and giving back from.
That's dope. What was the inspiration? I can't remember because my memory's just jacked up. I checked out one song. It had a video too. It was like you was in a mirror, and you was like.
That's Breathe.
Breathe, yeah. What was the inspiration behind Breathe?
Oh my God.
I fuck with Breathe. That shit is fire. It's fire.
Thank you, I appreciate that. So Breathe. This is one of the things I do in the mental health workshop. I said, in order to discover self, you have to remove yourself from the environment you're from and go into a place and become totally lost, and just process everything. So at that time, it was during COVID.
Mm-hmm.
I was in Atlanta working for AIDS Healthcare Foundation at that time, doing a lot of community outreach. I did an event called Taste and Test for the Cause that really helped a lot of the arts community and people in mental health. At that time, we couldn't go anywhere, and at that time, I was just trying to process like, what is it? Why I'm not getting to a place where I need to be, and I realized, Lorenzo, you have to get to know self, understand self. So in that process and doing this, and also going to school for clinical social work and understanding and discovering self, and also writing it down to teach others how to discover self and heal. That was one of the exercises that I learned for myself to do, is look in the mirror, tell yourself, and breathe, tell yourself you got this. Tell yourself it's okay. Those are affirmations
right.
that you have to take, because we help everybody, but we forget ourselves.
Yeah.
So in that song, I was just letting everybody know, first of all, your brain is designed to keep you safe.
When you dreaming, when you sleep, that's when that's the easiest way for God to come and talk to you. You know what I'm saying?
That's why you say you're a visionary, right?
I talk to God every day.
Yeah.
Every morning I talk to Him before I got in here.
Right. So that's your God part, and that's good. That's something that I recently started practicing doing more often. Was as soon as I wake up, I write. You know what I'm saying? Because as soon as I wake up, I know that in my resting space, I was connected with God.
Yes.
So when you get up and you immediately start writing, you write what that communication was like. And I started to realize that when I started practicing that, I was remembering my dreams better.
And on
I
that
was
note,
dreaming more often
on
too.
On that note, to piggyback off you said, some people feel it in the morning, some people feel it in the afternoon, and some people get that feeling at night whenever you write. Just to piggyback off of what you were saying, Alce.
No, that's a fact. The meditation hours be, sometimes late night.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? When everything's
Mine
quiet.
be like 3, 4 in the morning, and
Yeah.
sometimes I'll go on my live on LHAYES Book Me. I will actually just go on live and just start flowing out this constant music out of me, and I was like, what the hell? I'm outside on my grandma's patio blasting the music up, and she knows I'm a vocalist, so she knows. She said, it's okay, I love it, keep going.
Okay.
So I'm singing 3 o'clock in the morning, constantly recording, and that's kind of like
That's
how I make my music.
powerful. That's powerful to understand, like a grandma that understand like who you are and letting you become that.
Because at first my mom could kids. I was her firstborn. So our family was so in tradition with music. And she know how much it means to me. She was the only one that took me to all of my shows and showcases.
Yeah.
So she's like, please do not stop.
Here before, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of times it's like repeat trauma or repeat, situations that, and you said we panic or we don't know what to do, but we've been here before, you know what I'm saying? So, now is the time to kind of, you could rewrite it. You could start fresh. Just start right here.
And as you
big thing that you said is knowledge of self. You know what I mean? Like you have to have the knowledge of yourself to understand what's going on. Like like you said, the biggest challenges of the community is admitting that you have a problem.
Yes, a lot of them are really in the behind the scenes of like admitting that they have a problem. They could be a lot of CEOs, big time people. They all are admitting that they have a problem.
You know what I'm saying? They are smart, but you have to, as a parent, try to find a balance in between that, because they're smart on what they're emotionally feeling, but to feel all that emotion and let it like take over you,
Mm-hmm.
that is a problem where you need the guidance at.
Yes, I agree.
It seems like you had knowledge of self early, you know what I'm saying? But like, what got you through those trying times to really stand on who you was and come out and be proud?
So, back to those skill sets my grandma told me about. Once I realized that, and understanding the dynamic of the world we live in, everything I learned at school went out the door. I had to really learn the skill sets my grandmother taught me. Like I said, LHAYES is not just about music. It's a whole movement.
Mm-hmm.
Touch my body, free my soul. Touch my body, free my mind. I can feel you loving me. I can feel you breathing. The shaking vibration. I can feel it. The person inside, the inner, the high, the rhythm, the pie, the vibe, the lyrics. As I hear it, I can see it, I can feel it in you. I can feel you. I'm connected to you, baby. It's a spiritual connection. Thank you.
Yeah.
That boy good.
I'm telling you, man.
That was Heartbeat. I hope y'all enjoyed
Culture,
that.
Heartbeat, you know what I'm saying? By LHAYES right here live on For the Culture.
Definitely love this experience that we had tonight on the show. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you for having me.
This was great, and you was a truly blessing, and I hope everybody took in the jewels that was spoken today.
And nevertheless, again, go follow me on Instagram right now. I just premiered Grandma's Day. I hope y'all enjoy it. Think about your grandmas. It's their day. Honor them, love them, cherish them. Give them the flowers right now.